Hello, welcome back to The Great Circle, the African survival adventure game available on Steam for PC. You can download our free demo today, add it to your library, it updates automatically, and don't forget to wishlist the entire game to get it, be notified once it's available for purchase. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to be doing continued work on the NPCs, the AI's evasiveness of the player, basically prey being able to run away so effectively that the player basically needs to sneak up on prey each and every time, or else they're not going to be able to catch them if you're playing a carnivore. If you're playing a herbivore, it'll be different. Then you got to worry about AI using the bushes, using cover to come and get you. But we're going to be continuing to build on that. Also, I'm going to be working on a time recognition system, which is basically going to give you time to find cover if you are spotted but not recognized as a threat yet. So you've seen this in like The Last of Us or different game systems where you know it's got some stealth or sneaking involved, and like maybe Metal Gear or something like that, where something sees you and it's got the exclamation point like that. It's kind of sees you and you have a certain amount of time to get back out of sight. So I'm going to be building that. Also going to be working a little bit more on the pounce too, since that kind of comes into play, and a few other things actually. But don't forget, you can follow The Great Circle on all social media, linked in the description below, or just search for The Great Circle Game on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And you can join the Discord to keep with the latest development, and if you like what you see, hit a like. Hit that like button. Don't forget to do that. Share, comment, subscribe, whatever. And yeah, if you want to support development, join a Patreon or get a Discord membership or just do PayPal. It's all linked in the description below. Anyways, I'm going to be working on just a quick map thing here on the on one of the maps, and then I'm going right into that work on the AIs like I was saying before. But feel free to ask any questions about what I'm doing here. Also, you know, anything surrounding the gameplay and what you can expect. Hope you're having a great day. How's it going, KG Fitzy? Welcome to the stream. Wait, is that old? Let me refresh this. That might be from yesterday. I don't know. But let's get work here. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just making sure that the well, it's kind of a forest, and we're putting in the right foliage groups and stuff here. Now, this is available in the demo. There are 2 demo maps for everyone who has the free version. And even if you have the Patreon password, you get these 2. But this is Enclosure B. Enclosure A is the one I think most people get. But if you play it twice, or sometimes if you don't get B, it takes a couple tries to get it. But this is Enclosure B, and what's special about this is it has really special high quality trees in the map, and this is going to be like a kind of preview of what's coming once the changes are made to all the foliage throughout the game everywhere. So you're gonna get, if you have a good system, I suggest you go in Enclosure B and try to get a look at the trees against the light and everything, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's a completely different level. But I'm making sure that we've got the grass that you can hide in the map here, as well as the small foliage grass that you can't hide in, the clovers and stuff like that. So I'm going to be adjusting the size of the trees and scaling that. So I'm just going to iterate this a few, and I should be done. And then I'll get back to the AI stuff. You just need to find the right balance of trees and stuff. I need to adjust this thing from yesterday. The little rearranging of the scene there. You can't see the chat if people type anything in, but that's okay. There's no messages right now. Maybe I'll switch it back later. Okay, let's simulate this new arrangement. Hey, how's it going, Saucy? Saucy says, hello, TJ. Can you tell us when the big map will release, approximately at least? Oh, good question. So, for Patreon and Discord subscription holders who have the password, you can play the big map just by, when you put in your password, go to test and then go all the way down to the full map. It'll say full map in the menu. For free, just free users of the thing, I don't know that I will bring fully back the big map for the free portion of the game until the paid version comes out, to where it's early access release and you just buy it once on Steam and then that's it. The big map's going to be in that, but I don't know that I'll bring it back to the free demo yet. I think the enclosures, these areas, sorry, let me show the thing. These there are two maps like this where everything is fenced in. I think these are big enough to kind of get a feel for what the game's going to be. And then the full version, the full game, basically has this, but you can break out of this area and just like go all over the giant map. So it is available right now. It's just it needs some more tweaks for lower end systems to be able to handle the big maps a little better. And it's basically going to need the tweaks that I put on these smaller maps. So I'm taking the improvements I brought here and moving it over. I'm still in the process of doing that, but you can still access it right now. But yeah, it'll be, as far as like demo, I don't know that I'll bring that back there. But as far as like early access, I don't know when that will be done, but you don't really need it. You don't really need to buy the game yet if you have a Patreon or a Discord. You can already just go into test and then just go down the full map and go in there. Now the cool thing though about this map here, which is Enclosure B, is this is where I've got the test foliage for the really high quality stuff. It's gonna feel like you're in a movie when you're like really close. They're so high quality, like you can see the bark. This isn't showing the full quality because it would slow the computer down, but if you got a good PC, you want to go on this map and take a look at these trees, man. It's basically a preview of what I'm gonna upgrade the base code of the game to be able to handle it everywhere. What I'm trying to do right now is basically add the hiding grass to this map because it hasn't been in here before, but I had to clear out some of those trees so that you can have these wide open areas where you can hide in tall grass. But right now we have too few trees, so we're going to bring some of these trees back. I'm just trying to get a good look at which ones are missing right now. Some of them need. Alright, I've gotten a good look. Now I'm going to tweak some of these. Like the look of this one. This one's different from the other because the grass here is green instead of dry grass. So the aesthetics are a little bit different. I think folks will like it. Can't wait for the save system in that map. Alright, so the save system, I think I will bring that to the demo, and basically everyone's going to get a taste of save. But what I think I'm going to do is like limit the demo to having like 1 or 2 creatures that you can save, whereas the full version of the game, you can have a bunch of creatures that you can save. And the idea is going to be something like, the only thing I can think to compare this to is like Pokemon, where you could like catch all these different Pokemon and like raise them and level them up and develop them. This is going to be like a development game when it comes to the animal survival part of it. It's going to be like a development game because you're going to want to collect animals and raise them up and then like develop them, make them learn certain abilities, you know, build up their family sizes, build up their territory that they're own, and that stuff is going to be saved with your game and stuff. And the cool thing that I want to do is when we talk about playing co-op or wider multiplayer, you'll be able to take animals that you've raised on your own and bring it into co-op sessions with other players, and use your animals in co-op and continue to level those up, and then take those back home and continue to level those up so long as they survive. If they die, kind of you know, the penalty of death is you lose the creature, whether you lose it on your own, you lose it in co-op, or you lose it in full multiplayer. But it's going to be really cool that you can like develop a creature and like just put it in situations with other players and stuff. I think it's going to be really cool. Back during the time that I shot this video, scaling was something that was really not a priority. So like you can look at the texture of the ground and notice that things look really big and things don't really fully seem to match. These days, that's way more important when I design a map, because I want the world to feel accurate, whether you're playing something that's small, like a baby lion cub or a meerkat or a puff adder snake or something like that. But I also want it to look really good when you play something bigger like a giraffe or an elephant. I think these days I got scaling pretty much right. Nothing is too big. It doesn't feel like sometimes I don't know about you, but I play video games sometimes where I play a creature and it's like I'm playing a giant creature, but like it feels tiny in the world that they create, just because of scaling inconsistencies. So I definitely want the scaling to be consistent, and for it to be fun at all levels. So that's also another thing that I've been working on with the hiding grass. Playing meerkat has been hard only because there's so many grassy areas where it's like it's obstructing your vision. But now I built a thing that will basically make the grass transparent around you, so you get the best of both worlds. You can actually play a small creature or start off as a small creature and not really feel encumbered by the environment and the grass and stuff, and get the full experience of being at that level of the map. But then as you get bigger, you know, you get to move into the map will feel different. It feels like 2 games in one when you play something small or when you play something big. But now I think it's going to be a smooth beginning no matter what you choose. And you'll just notice different things. Like when you're small as meerkat, now you notice the dung beetles and the rhino beetles running around the ground, and you can it's just like a different world down there. You'll see ants and stuff, cockroaches, lots of things that people don't even realize are in the game because they play bigger animals and they don't see them. But yeah, the thing about the Great Circle is there's nothing generated or fake about it. Like the trees, the grass, like everything you hear, birds, insects, everything are actual NPCs in the game. And you might not notice that like there's 20 around you because they might just be the small bugs. Alright, I think we're ready. Alright, let's take a look at this rendering. Alright, so we've re-rendered more trees now. I think we might have just a bit too much. But we've done the job of having some clearing space for the grassy areas. Alright, we actually might just be just right. Might be just right, actually. Alright, so I think I'm going to stick with this for now. I've got to do a lot more work on this, but I'm going to stick with this, and we need to, because I want to get to back to the AI stuff, I need to put the road back in, because there's now cars that ride around. First, we need this mountainous area to break properly. Special material for that. Will you be creating your own custom materials for animals? Don't know if some are custom. Absolutely. Now in that way, I'm just like every other game development studio, whether it's big or small. All game development studios use both stuff they make and stuff made by third parties or outsourced or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes they'll like the AAAs will have like a bunch of their own stuff that they bring from games that they made in years past, but like they'll go to a trade show and like a good modeler will put together a nice kit and they'll sell it at the trade show. And what they'll do is it's just like when a big company acquires like a smaller company, they'll acquire that and it becomes theirs, and it will be like they made it themselves, but really they bought somebody else's property. And that's very effective, and that's great because everything that doesn't get bought up then goes to other marketplaces for the smaller guys like myself to get a hold of. But sometimes a game has unique features that nobody else would have thought of other than you. So in those situations, you're forced to do your own development and modeling and designing. For example, fantasy games, for example, very specific ideas. You can't expect somebody else to have thought of the specific fantasy element that you've thought of and designed it the way that you have in your head. Those types of situations you have to do yourself. Dinosaur games, for example, have speculative characters. You know, there's a lot of science that says dinosaurs look like this or that, or they have feathers or not. Those are other situations where you usually have to do that yourself. Not because there aren't dinosaurs out there, but because you normally will have an interpretation of what the creature might have looked like. And you want your game to look like what you want it to look like, not necessarily to be limited to what's available. There's like a specific rock that I shouldn't have spent so much time doing myself, like in the first year of this game, that I had in my mind was going to be like the pride rock of this game, and I literally crafted it myself. I then realized later, I didn't really need to spend that much time doing that. Any other kind of rock would have done. I just had something specific in my mind, so it's for those times that you want to do. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like, it's not that you're customizing anything, it's that you have to do it, I want to say yourself, but it's like, even if you get something good, you usually have to do a lot of work to make it work on your game. So it's like, you do a large amount of customization no matter what, is I guess what I'm saying. Even if I found the perfect boulder, I'm gonna have to customize it if I want it to go into my game without like causing issues, because it's a very high quality rock or something like that. So there's so much customization that has to happen. Let's see. Yeah, but I guess I'm saying there's no either or. Everybody does everything. Everybody does both all the time, except for tiny exceptions. Very small games will have developers that do all their own music and stuff like that. Very small games though. And if you like this, man, wait till you see the Great Valley. It's I did it with a modified version of Unreal, and it's got some of the UE5 stuff, but it looks amazing. People only got to see it for a short time in the beta of this Steam game. It was what I called so embarrassing, I forget the name of my own beta. The beta of the game is a different engine, and I made it look amazing. But I'm gonna bring back the Great Valley. Anyways, I'm talking too specifically about something. Saucy says, in the future, in the full version. Oh, let me make sure I'm not missing chat from the other thing too. Oh yeah, sorry about this. Ayush Kumar, welcome to the stream. What engine am I using? Unreal Engine. So in the future of the game, Saucy says, will animals die of age? Actually, yes. So they've always technically had the ability to do it, like even with the year 1 and year 2 version of the game code. But this year's game code, while that's not the highlight, they are much more capable of that in a realistic way for this year than in the first year and a half of the game. So yes, they will die of old age, and that includes the animals that you raise, because I feel like that's a part of the whole development thing is, over time, the animals age, they die, and it has a more impact on the player, because it's like you almost have like a bond or a connection with the thing that you raise. So I am planning that, but I don't know fully how I'm going to implement that just yet. But I think the inheritance thing that I have in mind for, like, let's say you really love a character and it's coming up on its age of death, and it's like you can't get that character back, because the way the Great Circle works is so many things are very specific, you know what I mean? Like, you can never play the game twice and get the exact same development or gameplay of a character. So it's like, once that character's gone, it's gone. Well, the balance to that, I think, is the ability to pass on the legacy of that character to a new character, in the form of it having babies or offspring or something like that. And what I'm thinking of is having a permanent descendant tree that the player builds for as long as they play the game. So basically, it'll have every character you've ever made and their offspring like on a tree chart, and I think that'll be really cool. So you can actually see where all of your hours went and how much time you spent developing each creature, and even once a creature's gone, because let's say if it dies or whatever, you'll always have some remembrance of it. I would like to do something like that. Wild Horse, welcome to the stream. Oh, that was Wild Horse's question. Alright, welcome to the stream, Wild Horse. Wild Horse, I skipped one of your questions, sorry. Wait, let me scroll up. I think I might be getting my questions mixed up. Wild Horse says... Okay, so that was Saucy's question. Wild Horse says, I got kicked off of Steam somehow. Why Steam? So, yeah, I don't know why that might happen. Wild Horse Rules says, so they can die of old age. Yes, but the thing is, so technically that's in now, but the thing is nobody plays it long enough to die of old age. So it's effectively an unused feature. But like if you were to like leave a game session running for days and days without turning off your computer, you could definitely see it die of old age. But it's an unfinished feature too, so it's like you can't actually see the player's age, you can only see an NPC's age. And actually, no, you can't see the NPC's age either. That was on the old system. The new system, I haven't put the place where you will see the age yet, but you will see the age. Right now, you can only see the level. So whatever the level of the creature is, all the way up to their level cap. And what I'm going to do is put the age next to it. Alright, I think this is enough for the mountain. Let's get back and put the roads in. Let me answer the other question. So Wild Horse asks, if you kill an NPC, if you can, have you played recently and see how fast some of them get away from you? I've made it almost impossible to get to them unless you sneak up on them. Will they respawn or no? No, there are no respawns. There are no spawns. The approach that I took is this is a simulated game. So what happens is within the parameters that I set, the computer will have a population of creatures with a certain survival rate, and by the time you get into the game, it has simulated, like through time, this animal survived, this animal starved, this animal survived, this animal fought, this animal did this, and then so you're coming in and stopping time, and there's already animals and stuff. When you kill something, it stays dead. But creatures are going around mating, so they will create other creatures. And that's also one of the simulations. How many times did an animal mate within its lifetime? So it basically just does the calculations really fast so that everything's ready by the time you get in. That's also important because one of the features of the game is like the health of an ecosystem has to do with the number of animals and the balance of animals. So like some ecosystems being dominated by herbivores will have a greater impact on like the flora in the area, whereas some ecosystems dominated by carnivores will have a negative impact because like you'll get too much growth. The other animals aren't eating the grass and stuff, and it'll be way more dangerous because carnivores are going to be fighting for less prey and stuff. So like if you go into a healthy ecosystem and let's say you overhunt it, and you like suddenly like there's much less food, the other animals will become more aggressive, more desperate, and so you could actually kill an ecosystem basically. And I've yet to resolve how I want to deal with killed ecosystems because nobody's playing the demos long enough to really get that far. But by the time the save system comes in, I will have to have made that the case because your game is a single simulation that continues until the end of life of the simulation. So it would only ever be over if all the animals in the thing died, none of them procreated, and I'm very much looking forward to see how we handle that, but it hasn't really been a problem yet. But yeah, there's no respawning because I just feel like that's like it makes the game feel like a game instead of like a simulated experience, a simulated reality. I'm creating a world. I am creating a game, but I'm trying to make it feel like a world that exists, and it's like we're visiting the world, but it's gonna exist. Dirt road. Oh, here it is. Okay. Saucy says, will the future of combat be strength, realistic based, or skill based? Like, will a lion player be able to solo a giraffe player with his skills? Good question. So that is yet to be fully determined. It's because it's not fully realized, the whole game system coming into place for what people are going to be able to do and not do, and how it's going to be balanced. I will say that I'm trying to achieve a balanced approach between realism and just the fact that it's supposed to be a challenging video game experience. So let's say it's not impossible for a lion to kill an elephant in the video game, right? That's actually not impossible for a lion to kill an elephant in IRL, but it's not likely. It's very rare that they do so. In the game, you could do it. It's just meant to be a very, very risky proposition because elephants can deal heavy trample damage. Elephants can crush. They have crush damage. That's a type of damage in the game. There's just so many risks. So I would not make it impossible for a capable predator to kill a very powerful animal like an elephant. Realistically, though, mostly the threat to elephants in the game are humans, so poachers. But yeah, you could solo an elephant if you literally spent the time dealing damage, not getting damaged, and managing your energy properly. I would just try to make it really hard. But we haven't really seen how that's going to look yet because right now the attack menu for the players are very rudimentary. So you have attack 1 and attack 2 for some animals. They don't even all have their attack type mapped to the attacks just yet. Some can do bleed, but the catalog of types are bleed damage, venom damage, exposure damage to like weather and stuff like that, burn damage, crush damage. You got bone break, which is not a type. Actually, that is a type of damage. You've got suffocation. There's lots of different damage types. When it comes to combat, there's also a lot of different damage types as well. But yeah, it's you could do a lot in the game. If you're dedicated, if you want to take the risk, you could defeat an elephant as a smaller animal. Now, if you're talking about playing like the monarch butterfly, beating an elephant, nearly impossible. Doesn't make any sense. How are you going to deal them enough damage? You know what I mean? So there are creatures like the monarch butterfly that are playable, or What's the next smallest thing you can play? I don't know if I'm gonna do the rhino beetle playable, but it's in the game. There's monitor lizard. There's meerkat. I don't think you'll ever be able to kill an elephant as a meerkat. You could potentially. So basically, your path to doing something like that in this game would be to rely on things like so you open a wound and never let it heal, so they get sick, because sickness is going to be in the game. So you basically can't kill anybody by stat crushing them, but you can kill with complications. So that's kind of the balance to the fact that some animals just have extraordinary ability and combat stats. There's just also these other factors of survival that can be turned against an animal or turned against a player. So an elephant player can easily beat a lion herd in a short-term fight, but if you were to like take bleed damage and like not heal the wound quick enough or whatever, you could like contract an illness that could contribute to your death later. So the compounding of the attacks plus the environmental damage plus the other complications adding up to your demise would be how that happens. So a smart player could use all those factors in their favor to take out stronger creatures. Oh, it's done. All right, let's get down here and see how the road's gonna look. Wild Horse says, this seems like a great game so far. Thank you. Wild Horse says, will birds' stamina go down when flying? Yes, they will. I need to get to that. It should already be doing it. It's not for some reason that I need to fix. But yeah, the bird stamina will go down for both the player and the NPCs. NPCs right now kind of have unlimited stamina, but that won't remain the case. They're gonna have stamina, and that's gonna be one of the ways that you can hunt a creature that's like outrunning you, is get it to use up all its stamina. Then it can only run for a certain amount of time, so you can wear it down with endurance. Slashy says, agreed. It will compete with Evrima in the future. Well, hey, look, that's a good game. So it's good to be compared in any sense. I do think that in terms of the scale of this is not going to be a competitive thing, because the Isle is not trying to be at the scale of like Red Dead Redemption or something like GTA, whereas that's kind of what I'm aiming to do in terms of how many ways you can play this game. Animal Survival is like one of 8 different game modes. There's story mode, there's safari mode, there's the park ranger, there's human survival, there is documentary mode. I have a bigger thing in mind, so I already think it's competitive in terms of graphical quality and in the way that the lighting is handled, but not in terms of like all the creatures animations and stuff just yet. I don't think they'll ever reach the general intelligence of the AI in this game, because that's not what they're trying to do. That's like my main thing. My main thing is building a world full of AI. So it's just a different game in a lot of ways, but yeah, you can definitely compare in terms of quality in some ways. But that's a long-term race, and I think we're gonna be the better game. Wild Horse says, can you like upgrade stats or something? And can you down? Actually, yes. So if you ever played the demo, you may notice the animals have levels. So that's the player, and the NPCs can level up and down. All the NPCs are unique NPCs, meaning 2 zebras are not the same, even if they have the same level. They're going to be different sizes. They're going to have different abilities. So maybe one learn a certain kick attack or whatever at one level, and another learned at another level. They're going to have different individual names. So the naming system is actually a thing in the Great Circle right now. The list isn't that big, so I do need to expand the list. So you may have noticed some creatures have, you'll run into 3 or 4 different Ragos with the name Rago or whatever. So we need like a lot more names to be added, but eventually every animal will have a unique name, and you won't come across the same names very often. But yeah, absolutely, you can upgrade stats, and they upgrade on their own. The NPCs do. And the code base that we're on this year, the new one is called Basic. Technically, it's Basic 3, but I don't want it to be confusing. But anyways, one of the things that makes it special and superior to the old systems of last year is the AI have the ability to learn to a degree. So they can actually remember relationships in the most basic terms as of right now. When you play the game, you will see certain animals' icons are red if they're enemy, white if they're neutral, blue if they're on the same team or allied with you, and green if they have a good relationship with you. They actually have the ability to assign a relationship level or a bond level to every individual that they come into contact with, and remember that. So if you attack one and be mean to it, it'll remember that you were mean to it, and it will either try to fight you or run away from you every time you see it. That's in the game right now. Long term, the evolution is going to be that they're going to have they're going to have the capability of what I'm calling long-term evolution, to where they are self-learning, self-evolving, just in a way more sophisticated way. For right now, that independence is basically it's conveyed with the relationship status that they can show for every animal. So it's like you could the cool thing about it is you could have animals that are habituated, right, to humans, like animals that are comfortable with humans, and then other animals that have learned to be afraid of all humans. So it's very realistic in that it's giving the animals the ability to have those types of recognition of the world, and that's something that basically no game is doing right now. No game other than this game that I'm aware of. There's no competition when it comes to that. Actually, maybe The Witcher, I'm not sure. Maybe The Witcher. I think with the human characters, maybe that, but I'm not sure about how good the animals are in that game. Wild Horse says, "Wowzers, this is looking good. Thank you." Wild Horse says, "Do you have to spawn as a baby, or can you pick what age to spawn at?" You're gonna mostly be starting off a new creature or character as a baby, and that includes humans. For human survival, I'm thinking you'll start off as like a teenager or like preteen, and you'll grow into an adult. The only time you'll be able to pick the age, I think, will probably be in combat mode. So that's one of the other 8 modes that you'll notice in the demo. It's just grayed out; you can't select it. So in combat mode, I think you'll be able to select the animal or the character and the stage of development. Wild Horse also asks, will there be dominance? Some games have dominance. Oh, good question. Yes, actually. So, some creatures that you come in contact with are the alphas of a group, meaning they're the leader, or they are competing or can compete for the leadership later on. So, there are dominance fights sometimes when you might see 2 zebras or something fighting. That's because they both have alpha, but one has the leadership status. When one alpha beats the other, the leadership transferred to them, and the other one is still a alpha type. It's kind of like a personality type, but they need to like recover and challenge again later on when the animal decides to. So yeah, there's actually a basic degree of dominance in the game right now. Where that's headed is they will be doing more territorial claiming in the future. Right now, it's like they only create a nest and they claim the spot around their nest. But the new code base this year will let them claim nest area. It'll let them claim the area around the nest. It will let them claim resources like watering holes or food areas. It will let them claim other animals. It will let them claim players. It'll let them claim almost anything. If they can pee on it, they can claim it, basically. So yeah, there's dominance in the game right now to a basic degree, but the code base allows for a lot more to be done with that. And you're going to be able to do the same thing as them. But you're going to see them, just like when I was saying, they're smart enough to self-learn or to become smarter over time. They're going to basically have a similar function with territory. They're going to want to expand territory. They're going to want to gain new territory. So you're going to see them migrating for reasons other than food. Sometimes it will be for territory, and other times it will be for things like finding mates or finding more animals to join their cohort. How's it going, Brought Light, Black Righteous? Says it would be awesome if we could spawn in as a adult animal. like a sandbox mode maybe. Um, I've thought about that for in the short-term demo to test the baby system, so the birthing. But long-term overall in the game, that would be something probably I don't want to do a sandbox mode because it's a development game. So the point is to develop characters, not to just kind of choose the stage that you want to come in. The point is if you want to get to that stage, to get to that stage. So I probably won't do a sandbox game mode. The closest thing to that will just be the combat mode where you can choose what animal you want to fight in an arena with. But it's still very early to be saying this will never happen or that will never happen. It could happen, but I'm just saying, like, at the moment, I don't think that that's a direction I want to go in. It's also so much more rewarding when you get something that you want by earning it that way. It's just like, because you can build up a few like different characters and get them to adult and able to conceive and have babies and stuff, whereas other people will be trying to get animals to that point as well. But you could like help players with certain things like growing by bringing your adult animal in that's capable to give birth or whatever, and like birthing them an animal with like better stats or genes and stuff. There's so much to explore when it comes to that, because you can take your characters out of your game, your single game, and move it into multiplayer and stuff. But I think I want the focus in this game to be heavy on just developing characters, and for it to be so fun that nobody ever wants to just skip any of that, because it's such a rewarding experience. The first thing in the game to do is to learn how to survive, and you need to really do that. The only thing that forces you to learn how to do that is starting off as a baby. If you can start off as an adult, it's still a survival game, but at that point you've gotten so many advantages from being a bigger, stronger animal as an adult, with abilities and stuff, that it takes the challenge away from it. Survival is still only the beginning in the Great Circle. That used to be the tagline. Actually, I need to bring that back. Great Circle, survival is only the beginning, because literally I've always thought of survival as the beginning of the game, and then all the other stuff as the fulfillment of everything else. But yeah, for survival to be relevant, it really needs to be that everyone starts their creature or character as a baby. Fatherhood says, but this is survival, not sandbox. Well, it's a different game. So survival is one type of game mode in this game. I know everyone's here for the animals, but in the Great Circle, animals are 35% of the game overall. It's one of 8 game modes that I have in mind. Remember, there's story mode, there's human survival, there's the park ranger, there's the documentary mode. There's so much more to the game than just the animal survival that it's fair to ask if there's a sandbox mode, but I don't think that that's the approach I want to take. I think it will kind of take away from the overall aim of the Great Circle. So I don't think I'll do that outside of combat, but I could have my mind change in the future if things turn out differently than I expect. You know, I'm playing it by ear. This road's very grassy. I might have to clean that out more. Let's get a look with the light. Yeah, I think I need to take off some of that grass. Not a problem. Almost done. Black Righteous. Am I reading that? Okay. Black Righteous says, does it mean players shouldn't do crazy stuff in that huge sandbox, huge world? It's such a big world, you know what I mean? And, you know, the aim is more of something like GTA or Red Dead Redemption in terms of scale and in terms of variety of types of ways you can engage with the game. Because in those games, people play it for story mode, people play it for single, people play it for multiplayer, people just go in and role play. I want you to be able to do all that stuff in this game too. So it is the big map, if you guys have never seen it, huge. It's bigger than you guys will know is possible with this game engine, but absolutely, eventually we'll build this world and you will see players doing all types of crazy stuff. People can role play, they just basically create content for the game for free. So they will be doing crazy things. However, one of the goals of the game in the beginning is to the game basically centers around a wild ecosystem, right? And the first thing that you learn to do in the game is to fit into the ecosystem. If you can adapt and fit into an ecosystem, then you will survive. If you can't adapt and fit in, then you will not survive. If you start going outside the norm, let's say somebody asks in the Discord, you know, what if somebody just spam calls, you know, over and over? Well, what's going to happen is you should be punished for doing that because animals don't normally behave that way for very good reason. Spam calling attracts predators, it attracts poachers. It's a terrible way to survive. You don't fit into an ecosystem by standing out in that way. It'll confuse animals, it'll provoke attacks, and I'm not talking theoretically. Every NPC in this game can observe almost every kind of activity that the player does. So when you call, that call is not meant for other players. That call is meant for anything that can hear, including other players and NPCs. If an NPC thinks that you're challenging them because you're like broad spamming the broadcast over and over again, and you're not the alpha of the group, you could provoke an attack. That lowers your chances of survival. So I'm designing the game to be really rough. People who don't adapt or kind of, I don't want to say conform, but you really do need to learn how to survive. And conforming to the wild ecosystem around you is how you do that. If you behave weird, I'm coming up with ways to make life difficult for you. You're gonna be punished for doing stuff like that. Alright, let's get maybe load in real quick for a quick test. Oh yeah, let me repaint this road. I think it's a little too... Well, let's look at it first. Let's look at it. Wild Horse says, will we have like different patterns, colors, and codes? Like zebras have different stripes? Oh, good question. So yes, there will be different patterns and different variations of coatings for animals, such as the African wild dog, for example. However, the player can't choose those things. Some of that is given the chance, and it's random, and it's a part of the simulation that happens before you load into the world. The game is deciding what character, what animals get what color features and whatnot. How is their impact survival? How is their survival impacted? There's an algorithm. So yeah, there will be different patterns. You won't be able to get this. Theoretically, you won't be able to get the same thing exactly each time you play. Two different lion characters that you create may have like different coatings and stuff, but you won't be able to like customize that. Black Righteous says there is dominance, Wild Horse. Believe me, an ostrich kicked the hell out of me just because I gave a look at an egg. Oh yeah, I gotta mess with those ostrich eggs. Be much bigger. Yeah, the ostriches are a little aggro, and they didn't have the thing that will make them lose sight of you. So if you got an ostrich to come after you, they probably just went after you until they died or you died. Yeah, there's dominance, and the thing is, if the head of the group comes after you, they all come after you. Okay, let's take out these trees right here. Wilder says, what? Not gonna lie, this game looks really good. 10 out of 10 already. Thank you. Don't you think will birthing be realistic or just spawn out? I'm the main goal of the game is realism, so nah, no spawning. That's why I don't that's why there's no you should never see an animal just appear, you know what I mean? They should already be in the world. When it comes to birthing, you will be able to actually see the physical birth at some point in the future. So right now I'm working on the kind of delivery area for the birthing, but I have a nice method that I'm going to do. I'll probably get to that right after I fix the water characters and the new water system, which is after the combat that I'm working on now. And then I think multiplayer will come after that. Gonna take a second to load in. But yeah, realistic birthing, realism on everything is my approach. So none of this stuff, none of this dropping in. So only realism. harder to load this area or this map for me because my computer struggles to stream and do this, but also the trees. Wait till you guys see those trees up close. Just got a notification that the next update for Steam is ready. So it's going to be incorporating the new stuff that went in last night. It should be going out within 2 hours. Okay, I don't hate the amount of grass that's on the road right now. It looks kind of realistic. Let me quiet down this music. What you're hearing right at this very moment is in-game music. Turn off the stream music. See, I think we're still loading stuff in. Wild Horse says, can a single lion make his own pride? Yes. If you are prey and a lion is, if you're prey and a lion is full, will it still hurt you? Like full on hunger. Oh, will a lion still attack you? Sometimes, yeah. So sometimes animals will attack you for reasons other than food. So one of the branches of combat that I've been working on is different types of aggression. So there is food aggression, where animals will hunt, but there's also territorial aggression. There is parental aggression, where your AI parent will be aggressive to other animals that get too close to you if you're a baby, or vice versa. If you get too close to other baby animals and their parent is nearby and they happen to be very aggressive, that could happen too. You could so they may hurt you. And there's also a personality type called aggro for certain animals that just happen to be more aggressive than others, because there are personality types in the game. We're about to see a leopard cross the road. Oh no, it's not, it's going to sleep. Some of these humans will throw food out the windows at you in the future. Right now, these are self-driving cars. They run on this track in the middle of the road. No lie, I'm adding a track to the middle of the road for the self-driving cars. But oh, there's a water puddle. Let's go ahead and drink it. Are you two-person making this or one? Just me. Only me. Now, in the bottom left of the screen, you'll see my instinct says danger. That means I heard a alarm call by a crow. I didn't hear a guinea fowl, but there are two alarm type of birds, two alert birds. The guinea fowls and the crows, you'll notice when they do those alarm calls that danger's nearby. Your animal will hear it even if you happen to miss the sound. It'll appear in the bottom left of your screen. Is my RAM filled up? No, look like we're still okay. I guess it's just slowing down for some. Wild Horse says, "Roll, wow, there's lots of comments." Yep. Y'all a chatty group today. I love it though. I could talk all day about this game and not get bored. Roses are red, vibes are blue. I'm just looking at the comments for the crew. It's great to know TJ is creating a single player game and multiplayer is just an option. Correct. The single player is the base. Everything else is the icing on the cake. Modding support would be great though. I'm thinking of some limited mod support. I've evolved on modding since I started on the game. I've evolved. In the beginning, I was really open to it. Really, it was like anything goes. I just feel like it's adding more content to the game. It's free. Of course, I knew a lot less about programming back then, and I didn't have as strong a direction as I do now for what I want this game to be. But you know, I like the modding that's available in like other games like Path of Titans, for example, or you know, other games. But for this game, limited modding would mean I basically got to make sure any mods that go into this game enhance what I'm doing, not put content to the side of it. It needs to fit within the world's lore, because the entire world that I'm creating, the reason it's so big, and the reason there's only ever going to be one map. This map that you're seeing is a piece of the big map. Because I'm creating a world, and everything needs to make sense within that world. Anything that doesn't fit, like if somebody wants to put dinosaurs in this game with a mod like that, answer is no. It's not a dinosaur game. It has to fit within the lore. If it doesn't fit within the lore, it doesn't belong. So that's a challenge with modding. From a creative standpoint, I don't want any content that fights against the direction of the game. But if it doesn't, if people just enhance what I'm doing, I think that's fine. For example, if people come up with more types of tusk or whatever, more types of bush that belong in a certain ecosystem. Wow, look at the LOD on that. I really need to fix this. Jesus. It's a tree. If people come up with more stuff, then I'm alright with it. But the game needs a stronger base before it can really support mods and stuff. The code is, every year I have like more and more that I want to be able to do in the game, and the code gets more advanced and stuff. So I mean, the modding kind of follows that. When you get modding is when your code base gets kind of stable to where you may make a few minor changes in the future, but everything is pretty much how it's going to be long term. We haven't reached that yet. I'm talking about doing things with the AI in this game that people are just looking at me silly when I go on the developer discourse, and they're like, "You want to do what? What do you mean self-evolving?" People are like, people. I think things are possible in this game space that other people do not think make a lot of sense right now. But I think it's just because there aren't many games like this. Look at the crow following me. He doesn't have the ability to land on me yet, but they will. Wild Horse says, aren't zebras playable in the game? Yes, they are. Can you make the stamina good? So some games you run out quick if you're running from press, and you can't catch prey sometimes. Will it be like stamina in real life? Like not, like they won't all have the same stamina? I think we're leaning heavy into the realism. So basically, if you played the demo last night, or if you play it today, you're gonna notice that you cannot catch prey unless you sneak up close enough first. They are generally faster than most of the predators, except for the cheetah. And then over the long run, they usually have more endurance. So you need to be strategic. Look in the bottom of the screen. You see that eyeball above level 1? There's an eyeball. That means I'm visible. If I go in tall grass and the eyeball disappears, it means I'm hidden. I'm not visible to, from general directions. You're going to need to do stuff like this. You're going to need to get into grass. As long as it's taller than you, you should be hidden. I need to fix the accuracy a little bit because you can still see this elephant, but yet the eyeball's gone. But if the eyeball's there, it means other animals can see you. So yeah, it's realistic in that in real life, predators have to get as close as they can generally before they start to attack, because they're gonna get outrun. Some animals kill with endurance, so they may not be as fast as a gazelle, but like wild dogs, for example, or hyenas will run their prey down. They'll chase close enough to make their prey tired, and then they get them in the long run. So there's gonna be both ways to go about it. But starting yesterday and now, it's like you need to get close to catch prey. Obviously, almost anything can outrun an elephant, but like they don't need to run. They can just stomp on everything. So the stamina will depend on the animal and the stats that you have. So this elephant has, if I look in the right hand side, it has 1 out of 1 stamina, but that's level 1. If I level up to level 2, I might have 2 bars. Another car back here. Well, I just stomped on the crow. The crow dead. Guard tower. $76 already. Over the stream. 1 hour 16 minutes. Oh, that's nothing. Should have saw the day I streamed 22 hours. Wild Horse says will poachers? I don't know how to spell it, but be the humans. Will poachers be playable? Yeah, there are several classes of humans or types of humans that will be playable. They include the park rangers that go around the park and make sure that animals aren't being poached, enforcing local government laws. Those are the park rangers. And there's also, let me show you something real quick. There's also like this, for example, is a park ranger. Stop the simulation. There's also the poachers are NPCs right now, but they will be playable. There will be like a poacher. I'm not sure if I'm gonna give them their own game mode. I think what I'll do is I don't know which way I'll go. If I'll make the poaching a game mode in itself, or if it will just be one of the like career choices you can choose when you do human survival. So you can make your living either way, working for the government or like being a criminal. But yeah, there's poaching, there's the rangers, there's scientists, there's photographers. There's a lot of different human types of gameplay that make the animal survival portion so much smaller than you might think. There's so much more content that I'm working on and planning for the long term of the game. And there's just so much more gameplay, so much to see. You know what I mean? Almost like animals just become scenery. But the things that I'm going to have you be able to do as a human, there's going to be base building, there's going to be scientific missions that you can go on, then that's story mode and in survival. There's going to be like you can do missions to like build up your stats for your character, just like you do it with animals. You can do that with the human characters too. You lose your human character. If your human character dies, you lose your stats and all that stuff, so you want to keep them alive. In some ways it'll be like Tarkov. I haven't played it, but you know, the way that I understand it, it works that you level up and stuff like that. It'll be something like that in some ways. But yeah, there's a lot that you'll be able to do. Is there any more footage of the human stuff? Let's see here. There's the tribe members, so there's people who just kind of grow up, you know, living on the land. So you will see like village type of humans. You can build villages, start communities, things like that. So in some ways it'll be like State of Decay. You can establish communities. It'll be really cool in the long run. You can drive vehicles. You can catch animals. You can do a lot of scientific type stuff. Like if you look for, like sometimes you'll be looking for invasive species and trying to get rid of them before they like impact the environment negatively. You're gonna have you know, a mission whenever you're a human. It's not just going to be revolving around getting money or building up bases or anything like that. You're going to want to maintain the environment. If you're a ranger, like make sure the ecosystem is healthy. You're going to be taking actions to keep it healthy. And yeah, there's going to be so much to the human stuff. Let's see here. Like you're gonna be able to go on guided tours if you do safari mode, and you're gonna be able to lead them or be on them. You know, it's gonna be really, really cool how much stuff you can do. Look at this. In this video, you're seeing the park ranger. You're in the car with your dog. The dog can get out of the car with you. The dog can help you with missions and stuff. It is, I'm telling you, this is it. This is the future right here. This is where you want to be. If you're talking about the future of African survival, it is the Great Circle. You know, it is these types of visions, these types of things that we're going to be. all in one world, one map, all this stuff in one map, not one tiny map, not one little type of gameplay or anything like that. Players or no players, full world, full ecosystem, full working game. Go wherever you want, do anything. It's gonna be huge one day. Black Righteous says, I want to give you an idea. Scenery mode. You can create such sceneries as park rangers getting attacked by either elephant or driver of the car with a cinematic cam. That would be documentary mode. I think I know what you're talking about. So in documentary mode, I've noticed people online have made like documentaries out of other games, other survival games. And it's like they'll use the admin camera or whatever to fly around and do that. So I did create a mode where you can do that. That already works. It was in the demo for free at one point, but you can do it if you have the Patreon password or a Discord membership password. However, I want to go even more realistic with that shit. Like, I want to be able to have it to where you have a human character, and for you to get shots, you gotta like set up the camera. And you can have a camera that you carry with you, or you can have a camera that you put on the car. And in this game mode, you would like put together a movie and try to tell a story. I have such a huge, what's the word? Drive towards making that work. I come from a independent filmmaking background, so that's why you'll notice a lot of the cinematography type stuff in this game is like focused on more than other stuff. Like, I try to really make the game look cinematic and feel cinematic. There's a cinematic view mode. You ever notice where you can press the H button, you'll take away the HUD, it'll bring in the black letterbox where it looks like a movie. You can do that just by pressing the H button. That's because I come from a movie background. But yeah, there's that, and it's called the documentary mode. Will we have different types of calls? Like a lion has a different roar from each other? Yes. So just like the animals will have slightly different coats from each other to just show their individuality and stuff, just like they have individual names and levels and stuff, they save their own information. They'll remember relationships with other creatures and things. Different calls too. Some of them will eventually have different calls. So like you'll never be able to get two lions to roar exactly alike, basically. Right now, there's a little modulation to where it'll change the pitch a little bit randomly, but like eventually you're gonna have a roar that's almost unique to the lion as much as its coat. You know what I mean? I want to say fingerprint right now, but at least as much as its coat. Can you stop fighting in a fight? Yes. Or do you have to fight to the death? Good question. Really good question. So the combat that I'm working on is, well, basically in the whole game, the AI don't act like AI. They act like living things. So sometimes, and they're unpredictable in some ways. So sometimes one will want to fight to the death, whereas another, if you get their health below 20, like if it gets 25% from 100, they'll run away. Or if you kill one of the two animals attacking you, they'll see their group member died, so they'll run away from that. Or if you're about to fight, or if you're in the middle of fighting and you 3-call at the right time or enough, it'll intimidate them to run away. So you can stop an attack by using your threatening call. So yeah, fights don't have to resolve by fighting to the death, because that would not be very realistic. A lot of animal fights only go as far as one of them getting hurt enough or being intimidated enough to run away. So as in life, so too in the Great Circle. Will you have an attack cooldown? I'm not totally sure about that. It depends on the type of attack. For example, if you play a puff adder or another venomous snake, they're like 5 or 6 right now. Like if you do Black Mamba or something, you can actually use up the venom you have for the day to where you don't have any venom left for the rest of the day. So you gotta wait until the next day to your venom getting recharged. So in a way, the cooldown for things where it makes sense. And And there's a cooldown in the sense that if you run out of stamina, you won't be able to do certain moves as often or with as much power as if you were fresh or if you're healthy. I think this is related to another question you asked before about like stats and stuff. Like, just because you have a stat value that says your attack is 57, and let's say your potential over your lifetime is to get to 600 or something, just because you reach level 3 or whatever and your stat is 57 right now, doesn't mean that it's a static permanent stat at 57 and it only increases. So what I've decided to do is make all of the stats temporal. So when you're fully healthy, let's say your attack value is 57. Your level 10, you're fully healthy, your best you can do is 57. If you go the whole day without eating, or if you start to take damage from a fight or something like that, your attack value will fall temporarily. You can think of it as a debuff, but your attack value will fall to match your overall health. Or if your stamina gets all the way out, your attack value will have the power of like 27 or out of 57 or something like that, but you will see it actually move down. Now you'll still know where you're supposed to be, like the full value will be 57, but it's not going to be full power until you get back to full health or get your overall total health back up to par. So everything is temporary. That's not just your attack power. Your defense will fall if your health falls as well. So you're not going to be as strong, fast, sturdy, as dexterous as you would be if you're fully fed, fully healthy, versus if you were starving, thirsty, or ill, you're going to be a weaker animal, and your stats will reflect that. Black Righteous says, or a lion pride is failing to hunt a zebra, like a hippopotamus being aggressive against humans that are, I feel like I'm missing a part of this, that were photographers, like a cheetah sleeping, get snuck up on by lions, scenery mode. Not quite sure if you're talking about scenery mode the way I meant it, but well, let me say this. There is another kind of game mode as well. So if you play the human class photographer, you can walk around with a camera and take pictures of that in a natural way, right? That actually is something that I've already worked on, and actually I might show it off to you a little bit. I think I will. I think I'm going to show it off a little bit. Let me just repaint this road just a little bit more. I might want to get rid of some of this grass. Let me evaluate how much grass is on the road. I think it might be fine. But second. Evaluate this grass. Yeah, I actually have a game mode or a character that does that kind of thing, but it's not actually a game mode right now, and I don't know if I want to make it a full game mode. I just know that there's a character, a human class that can take pictures, and there's a character that specifically takes pictures in the story mode of the game, and they're also a playable character in survival mode too. But I'm not sure if that's fully what you mean. You can't set scenes up, if that's what you're asking. Like, say if you want to have an elephant placed a certain way, like if you want to set up a specific type of scene, you can't do that, and I don't think I want to put that into the game, because I'm wanting you to try to capture those moments organically if they happen, because they certainly mean a lot more if they're rare, if they're not something that you can just get. You know what I mean? Just like choosing your stage of development for an animal. I want you to start off as a baby and get to the place that you want to be. If you want a certain scene, I want you to kind of go into the game looking for that kind of interaction if it's possible, and capturing it if and when it happens. Because we're creating a world where it's the NPCs are even more important than the characters. You know, certainly in terms of development time, I've developed the NPCs like 80% more. But probably you won't be able to set it up if that's what you're asking. Uh, Wildhorse says, are NPCs pregnant? Yes. Can you attack them when they are pregnant? Yes. Can you attack their babies when they are born? Yes. All of that you can do right now. As far as the pregnancy goes, however, I have not done the expansion of the body to show that some of them are pregnant. So that's not in yet, but it will be. So you'll be able to tell animals that are pregnant by just some of them will look pregnant. They'll get bigger until they get to the stage where they deliver their babies, so they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually that will be in, but it's not in yet. And also you'll be able to tell with scent. Some animals will be able to tell based on like the scent info that you can pick up whether something is pregnant or not. Can you be child to an NPC? Yes, that is the default in the demo. You start off as the offspring of a adult NPC. Wildheart says I'm already subbed. I like right when I joined. Nice. Thank you. Don't forget to like the live stream for those of you who are watching. Hope some animals are really fast. Well, that would be your cheetah, your African wild dog. Lions are fast in a sprint. Their endurance is not that great. Ostriches are really fast, but cheetahs are the fastest. We don't have impalas, but we do have springbok, which are basically impalas, or not impalas, but they're gazelle. Wait, is it gazelle is a type of? I think springbok is a type of gazelle. I'm not totally sure, but we do have ungulates that are just like gazelles, and we will have Thompson gazelle later on, as well as we do have impalas, but I'm redoing the impala models. Antelope, that's what they are. So impalas and antelope are the fastest, but slower than cheetah. Yes, that is true. Cheetah's the fastest thing on 4 legs. Oh my god, I'm so impressed. I have chills, literal chills. Nice. Take it easy. We'll get there. Will you get attacked randomly, or will you get warned by the animal? I'm working on right now making the warnings more clear, because people tend to think that they're just randomly getting attacked when they are getting signals from the creature. But that's why I have icons that pop up in the game now that show what an animal is communicating. So I want to show when you're being singled out and when an animal is angry at you. I'm working on making those work better. But yeah, you get warned most of the time before you get attacked. So right now, I just want to make sure the icon shows why you're being attacked. Like I talked about reasons, different types of aggression. Food aggression is one thing. So being hunted or hunting another creature is one type of aggression. Food aggression in terms of resource dominance, where they won't want you anywhere near the food. That's another type of aggression. That's basically a type of territorial behavior. There's territorial aggression. They don't want you on their land. They don't want you near their females. They don't want you doing whatever that they've claimed. They don't want you near it. There's dominant aggressions. Sometimes they'll just be mean to just be mean sometimes. And there's different types of aggression, but you're going to know why is what I'm working on. By the way, can you like break a leg or something, and you limp? Not yet, but you will be able to, yeah. So like one of the types of damage is bone break, which is most likely going to be caused by crush damage in the game. Crush damage is something that can possibly break a bone, but bone break is the injury after that continues to plague the animal. So you will be able to break a bone in the future. You will limp, and sometimes it will be permanent. So you actually could cripple your animal, and it will always have that limp. I'm just listening to your voice and watching animations, though. I love the chat. I love though I like the live chat somehow. Oh, nice. Let's see, try to see. There's so much that I need to get to. I'm like 10 minutes behind where the chat actually is. Let me see if I can try to catch up really fast. Also, I have YouTube right now. I'm a chatty person. I'm fine with that. I love chatting about this game. So the drivers throw food out. There are no drivers right now, but yes, that will be one of the behaviors. I'm researching right now if you're allowed to in any of the parks in Africa. Right now, I don't think that that's something that you're supposed to do ever because you encourage abnormal behavior from the animals and it is potentially dangerous. So if you feed an elephant and suddenly the elephant gets angry that you don't have any more food, you have a big problem on your hands. So, but you can feed them at a zoo. And I know there's going to be at least one zoo in the game somewhere. But I don't know just how which humans will do it exactly. I'm working on it, but yeah, I definitely want some of the humans to throw the stuff out the window, but I'm working on like the logic behind it to work within the lore. Like it might be non regulation. Like there you might see a warning in a part that says don't feed the animals, but some humans will feed the animals. Like their park ranger, for example, may be friendly with some of the animals, or local humans that have a village may be friendly with the animals. So that may be the case. But yeah, that would be one way for you to get food. Is you find a friendly human, and they will. I'm just not sure if I want the tourists to do it, and if all the tourists will do it. And right now they don't do it because the cars are self-driving cars, so there's no humans in the parked cars yet. When you spawn as a baby, do you get to pick your gender or no? So when you start the game, technically you're not spawning as a baby. Technically you've been calculated. You've been picked. Basically, how it works is it picks an animal that had a baby and it makes you that baby. You basically take over a baby. So it doesn't put you into the world and just pop up a baby elephant and pop up a mama. It finds a mama that it has calculated survived and had babies, and you get to be one of those. There's like thousands of creatures in the game when you first start. They're just not all in your vision. But you don't get to pick your gender. That's random. Just like you know, visual defects may be random, like a patch of skin may show a birthmark or something like that. All that's random. Can you eat the humans? Yeah, you can. When you, if and when you can kill them, but humans are the most dangerous uh, creatures in the game. Can they tame you or shoot you? They cannot tame you because you were a player and you have free will, but they can shoot you. The poachers basically will shoot you. I don't know if I will have taming behavior just yet. I think I will. I'm exploring one of the characters in the story mode having like a wild animal for like a pet, kind of like a domesticated wild animal. But I haven't really decided on if that carries over into survival mode and if NPCs will just randomly do that sometimes or try to do it. Don't know just yet. Can crows land on your back? They can't land on the player right now, but some of the birds can land on NPCs. And the best example of that would be, let's see here. They do it on the big animals. So the elephants can get the birds on them, the buffaloes, and the rhinos. But the smaller ones should be able to do it too. But right now it's just the buffalo, elephant, and rhinos. There's a good video that I had of one. Here we go. I don't know if it gets close enough to see it, but like this rhino may have birds on it. No, that one doesn't have birds on it, but one of these videos has it. Oh, there's footage of the player being a baby with the NPC as an adult. But also in this video, you can see that there's like siblings. So there's other cubs there, like 3. Oops. I don't know. I'll come back when I find it. But let me see here. Can another lion steal your? Can others steal your food? Yeah, absolutely, they can. That'll be one of the reasons that you get attacked more often than not. Is animals want to take food that you have because there may not be much other food left. So if you want to keep your food, you're gonna have to show some dominance and fight for it. Let's see here. Can males fight females? Fight for females? Yes. They don't do that right at the moment. Right now, that when they choose a mate, there's not really a fight that has to happen. But I will make it so that there's a mating season, and to mate, you're gonna have to fight any other dominant animals that are in the vicinity. You got to do that within the view of the creature too. So when there's a fight, they're going to stand around and watch you fight. Here we go. Here's a video of 2 birds that are on the one on the right. If you look closely at the head, kind of far out, you can't see it. Video cut. Let me see if I could find that one video. Can zebras kick each other and prey? Yeah. Animals can attack almost any other animal, and sometimes prey animals will attack other prey animals for any number of reasons, including territorial. Any of the aggressions that apply to the player apply to other animals too. The animals don't distinguish between players and NPCs. They're all the same thing. Gosh dang it. When I want the video, I can't find it. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Okay, so let's watch closely here. Alright, so this elephant is about to approach a rhino, I think. Here we go. Alright, so if you look closely at this rhino, you can see there are 2 birds on its back. And then there's 2 on its head. There's 1 on the horn. And there's 1 like on the neck. So there's like 4 birds on this one rhino here. So they can land on those, but they can't land on any of the player animals yet. They can only come up to you, try to eat bugs and stuff that are on you. And they can only go and land on the elephant, rhino, and buffalo. But they will be able to land on anything that's big enough to be landed on in the future. TJ, you're like the best developer ever. Not even close, but I am very good at the things that I do because I spend so much time. I'm pretty good at, like, I know how to approach AI in a way that some people who have way more experience don't know yet because I've just spent so much time focused just on AI. I'm kind of a specialist in that. Haven't played the Steam till I heard on YouTube. If you get a chance, download it. It's free. Then I tried getting into Steam, and I asked for my user and password. Now I lost the game. I paid $20 for it. Oh, that sucks. You should be able to get your password back. Like if you, they should have like a forgot password button or something like that where they email you. I do know Steam has given me trouble logging in the past because they make me do the two-factor authentication thing, and it's a little bit annoying. I have to like check my email, do that code thing. Will mating also be realistic? Yes, it'll be realistic in that it has stages where you gotta go to a mating area where the animals are gathered for that purpose. You gotta participate in the fighting rituals. You gotta win. Then you win the right to mate, and then you gotta pick a mate and you gotta try to be successful at it. So yeah, the Great Circle will be the most realistic when it comes to that. Can your dog attack others? Yes, your dog can attack, your dog can defend you. But also, the poacher dogs can attack, and the poacher dogs can defend the poachers too. Can you scare others away? Yes, you would use your warning call, which is number 3. You're like the best creator, and how are you doing this without any help? The way that I look at it is I can work a lot faster when I don't have to teach others to follow what I'm doing, and when I don't have to deal with other people's drama, and when I don't have to manage a group of other people and argue about the creative direction and stuff like that. It's just much simpler. Will we have night vision? Night vision is in the game and it is automatic at the moment, so you actually don't even have to do anything, but night vision is in. You can press it within, and it at the moment it turns automatically off and automatically on. It's not supposed to work that way. I just did it to fix something, but yeah, there's already night vision. It's been in the game for a long time, and what I'm going to do is make it so that it will trigger on and off once per day. So when it turns day, it will trigger off. When it turns night, it will trigger on. But if you want to turn it on or off at will, you can just do that by pressing N. Can you die of eating and drinking too much? Not at the moment, but eventually you can negatively impact your health to where eventually you will die from eating too much or drinking too much. Can you break a leg and limp? Not currently, but you will be able to, and sometimes that will be permanent. Will animals get to know others? Yes, they actually have gained the ability to remember their relationships with the new code base this year. They have relationships enabled right now, and I'm just working on the color coding system so the player can easily tell how the animal views them. It's a spectrum of enemy, neutral, friendly, and good relationship, but it's going to be more complicated in the future. And each relationship level will have a different color. So like using sniff, scent is currently in the game. If you see like little, that's the old version, what you're seeing on screen right now, that pink cloud. It's much smaller and it's spread out right now. But when you find those little clouds and you go up to them, you can find out certain info about the animal that left it. So like what kind of animal. Is it a female or male? What level it is? I put a lot of scent info there. That's not really realistic, but you can find out that info right now. You can even see what personality the animal has. So just with the scent. Not saying it's going to stay like that, but right now that's how it works. Can you also dig? No, it doesn't function properly yet, but the meerkats can dig for food. but you wouldn't really know how because I haven't really made it a thing just yet. Can you climb trees? Yes, the leopards and snakes can climb trees. And the tree climbing system is not finished yet, so eventually it will be much more robust. But right now they can climb up the trees, yeah. Can you have a sibling that's not an NPC? Not at the moment, but co-op is the next player game mode of the game, and it's going to come before the wider multiplayer. So you will be able to like team up with a friend and be allies and, you know, fight against the environment. Right now, you can have a NPC sibling, but the other players can't join you just yet. But that's not far off. People have already noticed in the pause menu, you can see the button that says looking for a friend. So you're going to be able to enter your friend's password, and you guys can link up just by sharing a password. Can you tell if a player is a NPC? Yeah, there are no other players in the game other than the single player, but in the future, yeah, because players act different. But the thing is, the NPCs are meant to be lifelike and realistic. It'll be harder to tell player from NPC in this game than it is from other games. Much harder. But one of the reasons that I decided I wanted to focus on NPCs with this game is because I didn't like the unrealistic behaviors of players in other games. I wanted the environment that I was in to kind of be more of a realistic, more of a hardcore thing. And you can achieve that much easier and much more effectively with NPCs that are programmed to behave naturally than with players who are role-playing as the animal and are doing silly things like teabagging bodies and things like that. So yeah, I think you're always going to be able to tell the difference between a player and an NPC, but it'll be much harder to do in this game because the behavior of each animal, the behavior of the animals are going to be way more complex than what you're used to. They're going to do things like play. There's a video of a wildebeest playing, and so it's already possible for them to play, but they're going to have different play behaviors. They're going to have different games that they can play, such as play tag or play hunt or something like that. So there are going to be basic things that you can do with animals that are your species or in your herd that you can do to like build up your relationship with them, to like build a stronger bond. Playing will be one of those things, and you'll see them doing that with each other, not just with the player too. This game's got your attention. Like right now, this is my favorite game so far. Oh, that's nice. Out of all the games I know right now. Well, moms protect orphans. So you can be an orphan, you can be adopted by a maternal animal. It's rare at the moment, but I'm going to make the icons that show when it's happening way more easy to see. So it's within the animal's ability to adopt orphans. And what baby animals will do if their parents die is try to find the next best adult to parent them anyways. So that's already in the game, but there's really not an easy way to tell if an animal has been orphaned or if it's actually with its original parents right now. But you will be able to once I finish like the new HUD, which will give like certain info about your character, and you can get certain info about other animals. Once I finish the other HUD, so it'll like show, oh, this animal is this many years old, has this kind of stats. This is its parent. Its parent is either alive or dead. It's walked this many miles in its life. It's done this. It's done that. It'll give you the info that the NPC itself has saved about itself. So it'll actually tell you its life, and all the animals have different lives. Will elephants protect all the babies like usual? Well, parents will protect babies. Except for like tiny animals. They tend to run rather than fight to protect their babies, but elephants are those animals that just don't care. They will fight almost anything. So yeah, your parent will protect you. Oh, looks like I got to the bottom of the chat. Nice. All right, so now we can get back to the work here. All right, give me a second to take care of something real quick. Forgot to order some snacks. I forgot what I was gonna do. I said I was gonna demonstrate something. I think it was the picture taking. I'm not sure if I can do it with just the characters type. Let me give it a try. I might have to go to the level, but I'm gonna load a character that has the camera already in their inventory. Getting ready to push that update to Steam in an hour or two. Let's see here. When will I start recording? I don't know. I've, gone as short as 30 minutes and as long as 22 hours. It really depends on the day or what I'm doing. PM Gamer, if your amount of money in your bank account was your social security number, how much would you have? I know it's a joke, but never ask that. Nobody is allowed to ask for any personal information on this chat, in the Discord, anywhere near this video game. Don't ever do it. Because somebody's gonna go, well, you know, I'd be a billionaire. I'd have this much money. There aren't that many digits in it, but, you know. No birth date, no age, none of that, nothing. Don't ask for anything. I ain't taking no chances. I want no bad press for this game. In 2 years, ain't had a negative story at all. I want it to stay that way. Snack. Should have ordered some snacks from yesterday. It's taking forever to load. Game left. Oh, you know, that's fine. People got things to do. This game is all I do, though. This is like my 90% of my life. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Jesus, it's still going. Nope, I have no kids. I have no family, no nothing. Or else it'd be really selfish of me to be doing this all the day, all the time. Tuh. Don't have to. Yeah, let's keep this about the video games. The Great Circle is basically the only baby I have. Somebody got 500 and how many? Somebody got 520 NPCs. Their general area. They ran out of video memory. Could be because that was a error at that time. But it looks like it was running when they had 500 NPCs. I guess the ecosystem just got unbalanced. It's supposed to like move them around so that there's not too many in one area. Alright, we're loaded, or finished doing the thing it was supposed to be doing. Now I can load in as a character with a camera. Switch back over to the big view mode. Let's get a look at what it's going to look like when you play a character that can take pictures. I guess it's loading again. Or your keys are kind of broke, so you see what I'm trying to say. I kind of understand what you're saying. You know what I considered for a while? And I didn't go this route, but it's like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. There could be like an offshoot of the Great Circle in this way. I considered letting the animals talk. I considered giving them voices, like going the Lion King route. You know what I'm saying? Like I considered like I had a dream about it. I was like, I wonder if I could do that. Like there were these two giraffes, like these two sub-adult giraffes, like going up to the watering hole, talking to each other, and it was like two teenage girls in high school. It's like, my mom is like so strict. She won't even let me go to the watering hole and drink water whenever I want to. You know what I'm saying, Ashley? And it's like these two giraffes like talking just like kids. And they'd see other animals and they'd talk to them just like they would see kids at school. I considered going that route. But I felt like the game needed like a more of a cartoony look if I was going to do that. But who's to say? Because I already said, like, if I wasn't doing the Great Circle, or let's say if I ever finish, my second game would be the Great Circle, but in the ocean. So it'd be like the Great Circle, the Atlantic Ocean, or the Pacific Ocean, and it'd just be underwater. But I can also see myself doing an offshoot where it's like the characters and the NPCs are like all kind of cartoonized and they can actually talk. They got different personalities and stuff. Could actually do it. I just realized I haven't eaten anything today. Oh yeah, I did. I had pizza. I think I'm ready for my next meal. I got way behind on development today. I was supposed to be doing the AI. Spent all this time on the map. Been here. Oh, it's only been 2 hours? It's only been 2 hours. I feel like it's been 4 hours. Should I eat the rest of that piece and feel like a pig? Had spaghetti like 2 hours ago. Oh man, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm actually considering heating up that other half of pizza and eating it. I'm gonna do chicken. Oh, when you chat, it takes a minute to send it. Yeah, there's a little delay. Alright, come on now. Stop with all this loading. Now, what I could do is like test the feature in the game that lets you transparent the grass all around you. I thought the performance was going to be much worse than it is. I know I need to develop it more, but it seems like the performance is way better than I thought it was going to be, and it actually might be usable. But really want to test it, but I gotta wait for this to finish loading. Can you steal babies? No, not unless you're gonna eat them, because like they're never gonna trust you if you steal them. The animals have a relationship with every other animal, right? So like if you go from neutral to you attack their mom, now you're enemy. So it's like you would have to. It would be a long road to getting that animal to trust you. I guess potentially you could make them friendly. Like, not sure how that would work as of right now, though. Because to get the baby away from the parent, you'd have to hurt the parent, and that would. Once a baby sees you do that, the relationship goes from neutral to enemy. So when you're enemy, every time they see you, they're just gonna run. So it would have to be like they have to forget. But the thing is, I don't think that I let them forget. I'm not sure how that would work. It's kind of interesting that you might kill a parent and then like slowly build up their trust over time, and you like take over their babies. So it's possible, but it needs more development down the pipeline. This is one of those games where the code will allow so many things, like because the AI kind of do things themselves. Certain things may be possible that I don't even know about yet, so you guys might discover things like that. Do I play Roblox? No. I know what it is. It does not seem like, well, at least at the time when I checked it out, it didn't really seem appealing graphically to me. I considered making this game on Roblox, and what I found, there was already a game called Wild Savannah on there. So I wanted to do this on Unreal. But the thing I like about Roblox is they've got a whole ecosystem. They've got a whole system in place for people who want to make games and stuff. It's actually a really good platform. It's just not my cup of tea, but it's actually nice, and it actually has been getting better over time. So I actually could see some really decent stuff coming out of that platform in the next couple of years that would be competitive with things like Unreal or Unity or Godot or other game engines and stuff. Says not responding. I hope it isn't frozen. Let's give it some time. A couple more minutes to respond. seem like a fun and a nice guy. I'm the nicest guy in America. It's one of my favorite internet people make the joke. I'm one of the most reasonable guys in America. Uh-oh, here we go, here we go. It's getting ready. Almost there. Switch it back over. Yeah, I'm the kindest man in America. Anytime somebody can say that about themselves, it's like go the other direction. They have an ego bigger than their body. Like, that's not up to you. That's not the kind of thing that, you know, I'm a really nice person. You know what I mean? That's not up to you. It's up to the people around you. But there are no people around me. I live alone. I'm a loner. I was born in a wooden cabin that I built with my own two hands. I saw this tune somebody did on YouTube or something, and it was a Steven Seagal character, and he was just like exaggerated to the max Steven Seagal, and that was the most Steven Seagal thing to say. Is like, you want to talk hardship? I was born in a wooden cabin that I built with my own two hands. Oh, it teased me. Thought I was ready. You have kids, they will love you a lot. I'm sure of that. Sadly, I probably will never have kids. I'm too scared to bring kids into this world. I'm too much of a scaredy cat. We do need more subs. Oh, it's ready. Here we go. Yeah, we do need more subs. But, you know, the Great Circle will get more subs when it becomes a better game. That's the way I look at it. It's not good enough to have more subs yet. The hair is missing. Still loading. Here, girl, you should be more scared than me. Alright, so here's one of the characters from the story mode. She does not have her hair, so she's not a cancer survivor or anything. It's just the hair. It impacts performance a lot, so I turned it off. But she actually is like on a tour and like gets lost. She has her camera with her in her part of the story. So she's the reason that's the reason I used her, to see if we can load the camera up. Oops, wrong mode. Try this again. Let's see. No wonder it took so long to load. There weren't supposed to be any. That's not supposed to happen. Alright, let me try one more thing. I gotta load the doll instead of the character. I use the doll real quick. I tired? Just hungry. I think I need to eat some food. Low on energy. Easy to forget to eat. Okay, what happened here? Oh, okay, so this is gonna be a look at the first person mode real quick. You get to really see the environment now. Hang on. The camera. I'm holding the camera. Obviously, when I jump, you can see it in his hands, but it's the equip button's not working. Might have broke something earlier. Oh well, I guess I'll show it later. Another time. You know what I want to fix before I leave this level though is those trees are annoying the hell out of me. They form these blocks in the sky until you get close. You're not supposed to do that. And then when you get too close, they fade out. What the hell? Gotta take care of that. Did I do a live stream tomorrow? I live stream every day, just about. Oh, time to upload the update. So within 30 minutes, the new update is going to be online. Here's the function I was talking about with the transparency. Oh, hang on, gotta load again. It's gotta finish. Alright, here it is. So Grass that's right around me suddenly is transparent, right? What I want to do is increase that to a little bit of a bigger area so you can pull the camera out a little more. But if you're back here, anything in between you and the character gets faded. It needs a little work, but you get what I'm saying in principle. It's running well. I like the improved performance here. I feel like there might be a little more that needs to be done with this stuff. It's performing better. Like the space between the trees. Don't have Windows, you have Mac though? Well, there's good news. We should be on NVIDIA GeForce now pretty soon. I think I might have to check with my contact there to make sure that I think it's asked me to send him a thing. So basically what that is if you have Mac, GeForce Now is one of those cloud gaming services that you could just, you can play, it's like streaming it from a really good laptop to your screen. It works really well. I tried it for Resident Evil. So that would be a workaround for now, but I do plan to make it for Mac, so we'll natively support gameplay on Mac at some point in the future. This is what that mode is for, so you could just be hiding in the bush here. It needs to be less white and more transparent, but I want it to be wider too. But what I spent so much time is getting it to work on the grass, because it did not work on the grass before. So now, when you play a snake and you're on the ground slithering, you should be able to see yourself pretty well. Might be able to do a little better with the texture size. Scaling up. Alright, I like the way it looks. The grass looks good on this level. Sure what's stopping those cars from moving. Damn, look at these trees. They look so ugly. Those little blocks. That's alright, we can fix this. Anyways, I think I might either take a break or end the stream here, because I gotta eat something, man. I think I'm gonna have some chicken. Eat something in my belly. Get in my belly. Spaghetti. Spaghetti and meatballs. I'm liking the density of this forest here. Can't really see it. Do hippos chase others? Yeah, they're some of the most aggressive animals in the game and in Africa. So aggressive. Mean too. Yeah, they'll chase you. They'll chase you out of the water too. They'll get out the water and come at you. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to see what we're going to do about food. Can birds fly and then grab prey? Not at the moment. They can fly and attack, but they land and they attack. They don't fly and like pick things up yet, but they will be able to. It's not hard for me to do that. Just haven't got to it yet. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. We'll pick it back up tomorrow. I'm gonna work more off stream. I tend to get a lot done right after the stream ends, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And yeah, it's been a good stream. Wild Horse, thanks for staying around. Appreciate it. I will see you next time. Don't forget, for those watching, you can follow The Great Circle on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all social media. It's either linked in the description below, or just type in or search The Great Circle on any social media. You can download the free demo of The Great Circle from Steam, as long as you have PC. It is free. Add it to your library. It updates automatically. You can also wishlist the full game to be notified once the early access is available for purchase, with more game modes, characters, and fun to be had. Don't forget, you can follow The Great Circle's Discord to keep up with the latest development news. If you like what you see, don't forget to like the video. You can comment, share, subscribe it, all that good stuff. But if you also want to help with development, you can join up with the Patreon. That gives you more access to the game. You get the same benefits if you do a Discord subscription. And also there's a Patreon link, or not Patreon, PayPal link for those who just want to do PayPal. Anyways, thanks so much for all your support with the game. I can't wait to continue to show the progress of the game. Oh yeah, there's an update coming in an hour or two. Let's call it 1 hour. So get ready to update your games. The animals are going to be much harder to catch if you're going to do the carnivore. And they'll be a bit more dangerous for herbivores too. But thanks. I can't wait for your feedback in Discord. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Take care.